Michiganders can be a superstitious bunch. We find all sorts of reasons to explain the world around us, sometimes pulling from science, sometimes tradition, and sometimes from our imaginations. What happens when we can't readily explain our experiences? And what happens when a ghost story gets out of hand? Do these legends stem entirely from fantasy? Or are people seeing things no one can truly explain? I'm Krista K. Coburn.
And I'm Kay Gray. Welcome to Haunted Mitten.
Welcome back to another episode of Haunted Mitten. We are so glad to have you.
Yeah, we are.
Tonight,
Thanks for staying.
yes, thanks for sticking around. Tonight we're staying close to home and talking about the beautiful little city of Chelsea, Michigan. It turns out the city is a lot spookier than its charm might suggest, and we're excited to talk about it. We wrote this episode before we went on the Great Ghost Tour put on by the Chelsea Area Historical Society and Museum this past October. It was fun. It was fun times. We went with some friends from out of town. Good times. Good way to spend an evening. And the Chelsea area players who helped put it on were knowledgeable, and they put on a good tour. Good job,
They
guys.
did.
Yeah, if they do it again next year, check it out. It's a good way to spend an evening. You know, ghost tours are often one of the best ways to learn about a city. And we went to
It's
some
true.
places I hadn't been to, like some of the alleys. It was really neat. Chelsea's a pretty cool town.
Chelsea's really cute. It's
It's
adorable.
very cute.
So, Chelsea, Michigan has been around as a settlement since about 1820, first founded by Cyrus Beckwith. It's been through a few name changes, Sylvan and Kendon, but ultimately became Chelsea in 1850. And no, it's not named after Chelsea, England. It's after Chelsea, Massachusetts, which might be named after England. So I maybe
Yeah, indirectly.
indirectly, maybe.
Like how Plymouth, Michigan is named after Plymouth, Massachusetts, which is named after,
Named
yeah.
after yeah. It just
Yep.
keeps going down the line.
Yep.
And I do think it is really funny that we do have both a Chelsea and a Manchester and that they're pretty close to each other.
Yeah, same exit off the highway. One's north, one's south.
Maybe that's there's a little piece of me that's like, oh, another synchronicity in my life. That's like I was supposed to come to Michigan because my best friend growing up, Chelsea, is named after the Chelsea Football Club, not the city, the football club, because her parents are from England and her dad was a giant Chelsea Football Club fan, whose rivals are Manchester. If you're not into soccer, so
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, having Chelsea and Manchester there is kind of funny.
it's funny.
Yeah. So our first location is Beach Middle School. There are often rumors about schools being haunted, but the sheer number of reports from this one are mind-boggling. It seems like an upbeat school, and it doesn't look like a super old building. It's just ridiculously haunted, apparently.
It is. So we compiled some stories from different commenter-based websites to read, like hauntedhovel.com and Ghosts of America. WFMK says that locker doors are known to slam shut on their own, and of course, the girls' bathroom toilets love to flush all night long. Quote, not only that, but whispering sounds come from behind the bathroom door in a manner that resembles schoolgirls when they would gossip in the bathroom, end quote. It's always the ladies' bathroom. Every time.
Yeah. And in this case, if it were like a plumbing issue,
Yeah.
why only them? Why not the women's as well or the men's as well?
And why only like at night?
Yeah.
So, here are just some of the reports from folks that have personally experienced the weirdness that is Beach Middle School.
From Ghosts of America in 2018, quote, I go to beach also, and during the drama club play, I spent my time in the costume and prop area. I heard laughing and someone walking in that room with me. Also, I was late to class one day, and I was the only one in the hallway. I heard someone walking behind me and calling my name. When I looked behind me, No one was there. End quote. HauntedHovel.com shares a very similar post from 2018 that may be from the same person.
Yeah.
Also from 2017, quote, I used to do custodial work at Beach Middle School at night. On several occasions, I have heard girls talking in the locker room, and I'd yell in there for them to come out because I had to clean it, but when I went in there, wasn't anyone in there. I've also had something run up behind me in front of the office, but no one was there when I turned around. When I knew I was the only one in the area, the handle to the kitchen door wiggled, and something creepy is behind the stage. End quote. Love
Don't
that.
like
Something
that part.
creepy is behind the stage.
Instruments have been heard in the band room when no one is in there. And of course, the school's theater has at least one little creepy ghost floating around. It seems like a very active place. And one of our coworkers pointed out that it's also directly next to Mount Olivet Cemetery. So that's fun.
Oh, yeah. Get some
Yep.
little splash over from that.
Yeah. It like shares a fence with. So
maybe there's some graves underneath that school.
there might be.
Just saying, it wouldn't surprise me. Like, we've done so much on burials in this state. I would not be surprised at all.
I know.
Maybe some paupers'
like,
graves or something.
Yeah. At this point, bodies everywhere. It's just what
Yep.
I've come to learn. There's just bodies
Absolutely.
everywhere.
Yep. So if you went to school there, let us know. Especially
Please
if you were
let
in
us
drama.
know.
I would love
Yeah.
to hear.
Yeah, apparently like the theater is a theater in the ladies' bathroom is where it's at.
And the locker room. Ladies' locker room, I believe it said. Yeah.
Yes, that is true.
Yep. So we're excited to talk about this next Chelsea location. It's a pretty famous one around these parts, founded and run by actor Jeff Daniels. May have heard of it. According to the Purple Rose website, quote, founded in 1991 by acclaimed actor and Chelsea native Jeff Daniels, the Purple Rose Theater Company is a creative home for theater artists to define our collective Midwestern voice. It is a place for emerging talent and seasoned professionals to learn more about and to practice their craft. A place for patrons of the arts to laugh, cry, and perhaps even learn something new. End quote.
It kind of sounds like us at the neighborhood theater group, and I love that.
Yeah. And they
It's
do some
kind of
similar things too.
It's like looking into our future a little bit.
Oh, I hope so. That'd be so great.
Right? But the building that houses Purple Rose has been around a lot longer than the theater. However, it's been in the Daniels family from the beginning. In the early 1900s, it was a used car and bus garage owned by Jeff's grandfather. It has stayed in the family the entire time, it looks like. Purple Rose opened in 1990, and it's been going strong ever since. So, of course, we had to ask, is it haunted? I emailed the Purple Rose, but they probably get this question kind of often, and they absolutely did not email me back. But they talked about it on the, we did stop there on the Haunted Chelsea tour. So, take that, I guess.
I was hoping to, during the tour, I was really hoping we'd stop there.
Yep.
I still haven't been. I feel so terrible. I haven't been. But knowing knowing the history of the building, that explains its looks, because it doesn't look like what you would think of a theater.
And once we were standing outside of it, I was like, oh, this was totally a garage. Like, oh, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But other websites have delved into this question as well as the tour we mentioned. So let's see what we can gather. In 2004, a few of the employees from the theater held a very small ghost investigation, bringing along writer Maria Sproul from Press and Guide. I don't know if that's a newspaper or what.
It's like a
guys.
It's a website, but it
okay. Oh, okay.
I don't know if it's just like an aggregate website. It looks like it's
okay.
It looks like it's a newspaper that went online.
Oh yeah, tons of those. Yeah.
Yeah.
Guy Sandville, then artistic director, told Maria that there were two ghosts, a 60-year-old man and a little girl. Quoting from the article, quote, they are typically friendly, he adds, unless someone forgets to turn on the theater's ghost light at night. Then they can get, well, sort of feisty with the props, moving them around and creating some confusion. Mostly, though, they just make noise or appear out of the corner of the eye, watching the stage as actors perform their scenes. End quote.
During their investigation, both of Maria's cameras stopped working. despite checking them twice before the start. Guy pointed to seat MM15, where the older man has been seen sitting, and to a far section of the stage where performers have encountered the young girl. Guy had no idea where the ghost came from, but, quote, every respectable theater has a ghost, end quote. And that is true.
Indeed.
All theaters have
Yep.
ghosts.
Even if you have to make one, like they did at Eastern.
Every theater has to have a ghost. And the Purple Rose has its own blog with a post or two on employees' experiences with the resident ghosts. One employee, Nathan, described their experience.
I was in the attic space where we store our costumes and props, looking for a pair of pants to wear for a session of aerial silk work. I started picking through the long row of hangers, slowly stepping further into the narrow space between the clothing rack and storage shelves. Not having any luck finding my size, I eventually arrived near the wall and stopped dead in my tracks. I froze, listening intently as the faint sound of a sigh crescendoed toward me.
I guess,
When the sigh reached, yeah, something like that. When the sigh reached its loudest point, I felt a shiver start at the top of my head and travel down my spine. I stood there frozen for just a few more seconds before darting down the ladder and running back to the stage where everyone else was warming up. Angie, the stage manager, took one look at me and said, "Nathan, why are you so pale? You look like I've seen a ghost," I said. I mean, heard a ghost.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Heard a ghost also very annoyed that you couldn't find your size.
So, yeah, something.
Other employees have seen shadows move, presences just behind them checking them out, and the heavy weight of something or someone on the platform behind them. The article on the theater's website is really fun. You should go check it out for the full stories of those experiences. And our lovely ghost guy talked about a third ghost in the building as well, and he seems to enjoy watching the plays from the audience. However, we're not going to steal their material, so if you want the full story, take the Chelsea Ghost Tour. It was fun. It's worth your time.
Yeah, it was a good night out. Also, some great places to get dinner. Highly recommend dinner and a ghost tour. Fun times.
Yeah, of course.
Really good barbecue. Anyway, okay, moving on. We are going to head outside Chelsea proper to the Waterloo recreational area, just a bit north. It's a lovely place to spend a day with hiking, lakes, and apparently murder to entertain you. Within Waterloo lies Sackrider Hill, and these days you wouldn't really be able to tell anyone was killed up there. It was named for the Sackrider family who settled the area back in the 1840s. Some way or another, the hill ended up being a popular spot for Easter Sunday sunrise services for the surrounding Methodist community. StockbridgeCommunityNews.com says that in 1938, one service was particularly interesting because Reverend George Bennard, author of the hymn The Old Rugged Cross, preached that morning.
I forgot to look up what that hymn sounded like. I don't know it.
I was raised Methodist. I wonder if I do know it.
You very well might.
It's been a long time.
It might like spark some things. Who knows?
Yeah.
So there was a bunch of contention between the community about whether an old white cross on the hill denoting its significance to the religious community should remain, because it was on public land, separation of church and state and all that. The cross was removed in 2021 and moved to a local church, but that didn't lead to murder that we know of. No, that happened September 1st, 1958, which is wild because that's actually the date I started writing this part of the episode. John Hickson was upset that his girlfriend, Carolyn Waldron, was breaking up with him. He told police once he was caught, quote, "If I couldn't have her, no one else would either." And he shot her twice. He then fled the scene. It happened around 9:30 p.m. that night. Hickson picked Waldron up from her aunt and uncle's house for a date, but when she tried to break it off with him, they argued. He lost his cool and had a gun in the car. Her body was found the next morning by a doctor who had driven up the hill to see the morning view.
As for it being haunted, visitors have reported hearing strange noises, especially after dark. twig snapping, laughter in the dark when there's no one there, and according to WFMK, other quote unquote unexplainable occurrences have been witnessed by those brave enough to hike up a hill after dark. Like all good legends, midnight is the best time to go up there. Murder Mountain was also talked about on our ghost tour. However, the stories were completely different. They centered on the indigenous people who may have used the mountain for various reasons, as it's one of the tallest spots around, so, good lookout location. One of the stories was very obviously not true, and even the tour guide seemed reticent to talk about it. It involves scalping, which is totally false narrative, so that's all we'll say. The other seemed slightly more plausible. A story transferred from one person to person, like across the country, coming to land on a strange hill outside town.
I was very surprised the tour guide didn't talk about the actual murder that happened there. However,
Yeah,
she admitted she didn't write the tour, she just performed it, so it's not as if she
right.
knew, all the behind the scenes of why they picked what they did. But unless there's the second Murder Mountain, I don't know what else.
Mm,
I don't know what else we're
yeah,
talking about. Like, I know the Waterloo recreational area is like large, but
it is. Yeah, because we've camped there.
yeah,
Um, yeah, I was surprised because based on the stories they chose, which is a very obviously false, kind of hurtful story about the Ottawa people,
yeah,
um, versus like a very real murder. Like
yeah,
the very real murder is more chilling to me. I kind of rolled my eyes at the like, ugh, more propaganda story. Um,
yeah.
Maybe it was like too soon, or the family of the victim was like, hey, please don't talk about that. I don't know.
Maybe, or maybe well, I was gonna say maybe
Because
they're
it wasn't
trying to.
that long ago. It's a small community.
No,
I don't know.
and I was
I
gonna
mean,
say like maybe at the when we were hearing the stories, because I had already written this episode. Um, I was like, oh, maybe they're trying to stay away from too much like gory true crime or whatever. But then we went on to talk about a couple other true crime things in the
it's true.
tour,
Yeah,
so I was like, well, that wasn't it. Okay.
it's true. Yeah.
So I don't know.
And I run into people who knew the victims of the murders around here,
Yeah.
Collins's victims. I run into
Yeah.
them interestingly frequently.
Right?
Yeah. Sorry, I don't
So
know. I don't know why that wasn't mentioned,
I don't
but
know.
it wasn't. That's what we found
But
anyway.
yep. But apparently that isn't the only spot in the Waterloo Rec area that's haunted.
I'm
One
not surprised at
poster
all.
right? No, not at all. That place is huge, and it's
Mhm.
honestly a little creepy. One poster on ghostsofamerica.com described their encounter with a literal white sheet ghost at the Mill Lake cabins.
Hmm.
Quote, when I was walking up the trail from the south, I arrived at the main camp area where the big main cabin is, and I saw what looked like a pure white, solid sheet floating by about 200 feet in front of me, end quote. They watched it glide at what they estimated was roughly 10 miles per hour and drift behind one of the cabins. But upon further investigation, nothing was there. With no wind, no one else around, and the cabins empty because the place is closed, they left thoroughly confused. To quote, there's no reason for there to be a clean white sheet and an abandoned camp in the woods. And I agree.
Yeah, that's weird.
I don't think I've ever heard of an actual, like, sheet ghost
Yeah,
before.
a literal sheet ghost.
Like an actual literal sheet ghost.
I love that they clocked it like 10 miles per hour.
Right? But I do like to say on the ghost tour that high strangeness is strange.
Yep,
So,
strange is as strange does.
correct. You know how much we love Michigan made Lynn B Designs 5 free vegan nail polish. Now we can all further pamper ourselves with scented cuticle oils, a quick absorbing and moisturizing blend of jojoba and grapeseed oils with vitamin E and perfume. Wrap yourself in the delicious aromas of chai spice, pistachio dream, fall vibes, or gummy bears if you're feeling sweet. Peruse all the new scents at linbdesigns.store. Once again, that is linbdesigns.store. We love you. I own so many of your nail polishes. Thank you.
So let's talk a little about Oak Grove Cemetery. It sits just outside downtown Chelsea, still well within the city, and it was established in 1860. Now, this is not to be confused with Oak Grove Cemetery in Dixborough or Oak Grove Cemetery in Manchester. They're all over the place. It's a common name, and they're all
I'm
haunted.
so annoyed. I'm so annoyed. I would find a sweet story and I'm like, oh man, this is so cool. This is an Oak Grove Cemetery. This Oak Grove Cemetery is in Illinois.
Like, we got a lot of oak groves in the Midwest, okay?
You-
Great places to bury people.
so annoying.
You cut down the oaks, you make the casket, you bury them where the tree used to be. There you go. It's very efficient.
Just name it anything else. Anything else.
Oh, how about Mount Everest? There's another one you see everywhere.
Oh my god. I've never like gotten the joke out of that before.
Yep.
My life has changed.
You're welcome.
Okay, let's talk about Chelsea's Oak
Yes.
Grove Cemetery.
So this oak grove contains a monument to fallen soldiers called Cannon Hill, as well as the graves of numerous significant families to southeast Michigan, of course. Some of those families apparently enjoy wandering the grounds long after death.
One witness was visiting the cemetery and up on Cannon Hill when they swore that the cannonballs, which are very stationary, rolled or rocked back and forth. They continued their visit, stopping by the Glazier family plot when they heard heavy breathing behind them. To quote from Ghosts of America, standing next to me was a shimmery, opaque shape. It was a man. I couldn't make out much except that he looked to be in his late 40s and wore an old black suit. If I would have blinked, I would have missed him.
More than one person has seen this shadowy figure as well. Replies to this initial comment tell of a woman seeing this specter in the cemetery while she was on a walk. And her husband saw it too, but walking down the street away from the cemetery. And this isn't even the only wandering ghost.
No. But it's still kind of weird.
Definitely weird, yeah.
And I just like that the cannonballs just sometimes they gotta get their little energy out.
I guess so. They're bored. Yeah, they're very
bored.
they're
just
very
sitting there
heavy.
all day.
These are not things that are just gonna normally rock back and forth. Maybe if there's like an earthquake you can't feel, but like
Yeah.
these things are heavy.
If for some reason they are not like physically bolted down, they are still super heavy and they're probably bolted down. Otherwise they would have been stolen by now. Let's be honest.
Oh, absolutely. By idiot people like my brother.
Uh-huh. Yeah, exactly. Or mine. Or mine. All right. So last tonight, I want to touch on one more point of the ghost tour. Apparently, there is a hitchhiking ghost that wanders Dexter Chelsea Road at night. Our tour guide spoke of a man who witnessed her while driving one dark and stormy night. She is apparently dressed all in white and doesn't walk on the ground but floats. The full story will be told by them, but I am so excited to drive down there sometime. It's not far. I can get there. So I know we always say that and don't actually go exploring, but we love a white lady ghost, a white lady ghost.
Yes, specifically the ghost kind. Ladies of white. I don't know how you want to say that, but yeah, hitchhiking ghosts are fun.
I believe it's supposed to rain Thursday night. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Oh hey, I don't think I'm doing anything. Just don't race her. This guy was driving too fast.
Oh my gosh!
Just try to get away from her. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Always be safe, even if there's a creepy ghost outside your car window. Just, if you're freaked out, just look away and just drive safely.
Yeah. For real. Don't let
Be safe.
the ghost don't let a ghost be the cause of your death.
No, don't join them.
Mm-mm. Do not.
You don't want to be a ghost story. You don't want to be a silly ghost story. You want to be like a badass, died in your old age, that
Or at
kind of ghost
least like,
story.
yeah, or at least like doing something awesome.
Yeah. Driving dangerously around a bend on a wet road.
Yeah. Not good. You
No.
either die in your sleep at the ripe old age of like 102, or you're doing something awesome, like saving a kid from a shark. I don't know.
Yeah, it's something epic. So people like sing your praises.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right, friends, that is it for us. Thank you for listening. As always, you can find us on the socials, except the really awful ones. You know who you are. On Patreon. For $1 to $3 a month, you get live shows, interviews, true crime, and road trips, which hopefully we'll be doing some more of those. So come check us out. We are grateful to be able to use that money to keep our website and podcast host going. Thank you again. That really helps us out.
Oh yeah, for sure. Happy haunting.